started, guys. Cool. Hopefully everybody has had a good week. I need to get started with my coffee. Let's see now. Excuse me. Looks like the notification just went out. So I've got all of this. And then I don't need this guy anymore. My tests all pass. And if I remember correctly, pcal does with API key and without API key. They both return. Yes, they both return the same time, so we're good to go there. Now, I guess the question is, how do I want to structure this? Because I could put this all in a directory and just have it be part of itself, and then start a new project for the clients here. Let's see now. What would be the best way to go about it? If I build the client here, then it doesn't actually use this. I mean, it's self-contained, but it's not really self-contained. Why not have this set up with GitHub? I do not. This is my original one, and I need to change it. I need to make a new one. I'll add a README file actually in a little bit. In which case, if I'm going to add a README file, let's do MIT. So I just need to add this repository as the upstream. How do I go about doing that? So git remote add origin. Yeah, that guy. Okay. Do I have to use .git? Or can I use this method? Can I use the SSH method? That'll work. Yeah, it should work. I've used it before. Look at that. Cool. Excuse me. Definitely having lots of burps today. One thing I need to get used to is Git worktree, where you use bear to pull up the actual repo, and then worktree is like sort of like different directories within the repository. It's kind of cool, but different time. I'd like to work with it and see if it's really that beneficial. The Primogen, we get its actual name, I used to know, but I don't want to dox him anyways. He uses a Git worktree. Not sure why, what the benefit of it is, but he does use Git worktree. Hello, Alicidra. Alicidra. Man, I can't pronounce that, sorry. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. And what we want to do is, well, first let's push this. And it's gonna say I need to pull first. Oh my god, I hate this. Alright, so that's been pushed up. So now over here, I should be able to see all my stuff. Cool. Question, I really need to build the README, and I think that's it. And then we can go ahead and get started with our AWS API Lambda function. Man, I got bug bites on me. Oh. Terrible thing living on the east coast of the United States, I guess. Alright, so let's go ahead and add that README real quick. Also, one more thing, I want to be able to fix this. So like I've got this working, this is different from this. This is using Snap, NeoVim Snap, and it's supposed to be a lot faster because it uses fuzzy instead of FCF, where this uses FCF. And on a bigger code base, at least for my work projects, it is actually faster. But I haven't gotten the equivalent of this working, which is ripgrep, searching, grepping for text within all the files. I need that equivalent working with Snap. Once I get that working, then I'd like to switch over entirely because it is a lot faster. Not sure how, but it is. All right, so we are exiting this. This is, oh right, we're reading the README. Ooh. It says null ls message file execution stopped. I don't have Veil. Is Veil something I can install? No, what is going on? Message file directory. Veil's definitely here. So it's built in, and it's built in is installed, but it can't find it. Interesting. Different fix for different time. So let's do, all right. Schedule a library which allows anyone to gather prayer details given time and location based on coordinates to the closest city. I feel like this is just gonna go on forever, isn't it? This might not look the best, but we'll take a look. So prayer is a library which allows anyone to gather prayer details of a given time and location based on coordinates to the closest city. Let's see. Motive. Well, first motive was to relearn Golang. Or Go. Second motive is to build an extensible. Oops. Oh, I'm knocking stuff over. Build an extensible library. Be consumed. Let's see, what else should we put in there? Supported methods. One of them is customer provided coordinates. Provided here API key. and I actually want to do here. Give this link. What I don't have yet is just provided support. Geolocation API key. Eventually, I would like to get this one done one day. We can just toss it up for later. Oh, hello, Alexis the Nexus. Welcome back. All right, so then we also need to know if I don't really care if I give written in Go. That's not gonna matter much. Alright, so gotta be close to city, building something. Yeah, I think that's it for now. If I think of anything, I'll add it later. Cool. We'll start here and then go somewhere else if need, or add something else if need be. New release packages. Publish your first package. No, this is just a library. I'm not here for that. Okay. All right. So what we want to do is now actually build a client using this guy whatsoever, right? So this is now, sure, okay. So we start a new package and then we use that package to, or sorry, we call this library with that package and then go from there. And see if that works. So I guess we could try that. So how do we want to how do we want to build the client? If we build it in, we can build it in Go. Well, we also have to build it in Go because it's not using anything like gRPC or REST API yet. But do we have Alexa in mind? Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's make a new directory. So make your prayer schedule client. Right, so go, is it go new? What was the thing? It's probably. Go get, go mod, go run, go test, go tool, go vet. guess Go doesn't have really boilerplate code, so we can just start typing whatever. As a Go mod in it. Excuse me. Ah, that's what I did. Okay. Let's see. Do I want to do that where... Okay, so if I initialize everything here... I could do this later. I don't need to make it now. It's fine. Oh, could I have done that? Interesting. Yes, I know. So, prior schedule client is just gonna go ahead and take that and then return everything. I feel like I'm almost done with this project. Like I've already built a library. Now all I need to do is build a client. Let's see how we can start an Alexa skill. Yeah. AWS Lambda Go. Let's see what it looks like. So so you definitely need that. You've got some context, and then in the context return this. So that's handle request. Lambda.start handle request. Okay. That's all you need. So let's go ahead and take all of this. Yeah. Oh, fine. I'll make another one. What should I call this? Yeah, let's call this. Okay. Gotta rename this directory then. Let's call this with Alexa in mind. I think I can. What's in this one? Do I even have this anywhere? I don't think so. I think I got rid of that one. I also don't need this anymore. Updated August 8th. Everything's here now. Python. Anyways, coming back. So this was my original one. Hasn't been touched in forever. It's got Terraform. Does this have Terraform? This has Terraform. Look at that. So that's probably this guy. I am gonna go ahead and archive this. General, where's the archive? Archive this repository. Yeah. Archived, cool. Now, I can just go ahead and get rid of this guy. Actually, now that I think about it, I can make the API a little better, and we should probably do that first. But let's go ahead and start the Lambda function. So what I just thought of is that we would, on the library, we would not only just return the entire month calendar, but we would also return, based on the customer time, the next prayer and all the prayers for that day. If we can get those two in there as well as the monthly prayer times, that would be best. I feel like that way the client code can remain minimal, and most of the heavy lifting, the common heavy lifting, would be done on the library itself. I think that would be best. So let's at least go ahead and start the Lambda function and take the boilerplate code and go from there, and get a test Lambda function working, and then we'll come back to the library and add those particular ideas that I just thought of. Cool. All right, so this will be the new one. What's the format? That's what I thought. Okay. Let's archive this one too while I'm at it. Okay. I want to start a new one that is only with Alexa in mind. I'm the owner. Let's see, so should this be a public or private? I feel like this should be private. I mean, it doesn't matter, I'm streaming it anyways, but let's see, is there anything I need to worry about? Like API keys? No, those will be coming from Secrets Manager if it's AWS. Yeah, so Secrets Manager will have those. And then we'll gather the... let's make it private, just... it doesn't matter, let's just go ahead and create it. We'll make it private if need be later. Cool. All right, so now if I go back here, main.go, all is well. Look at that. I still need to do git init main, git remote add argument. Cool. Look at that. Let's go back in. All right, so this is fine. Oof. My event should have exported. Okay, thanks, guy. So let's see if that goes away if I say Alexa skill. All right, I'll redo this in a minute. Okay. According to this, package main in Go, package main contains func main, import context. Yes, I get all that. But where do these come in? Oh, it's coming in from the request. Okay. Request, what is your name? Is an actual key. And then it's Jim. And response is this answer. Is it really like that? Where it's like, it's just a struct. No, it really is like that. What an interesting key. What an interesting design. Okay. All right. So I don't need any of that. My request should state in my event, it's the date time. So I should be getting the client, the Alexa skills, date, the time, and the zip code. And I should be sending that to, I should be using the library to parse that information. I don't think I need anything other than when I get to the part of the actual speech, like what it's requesting and so on and so on, which I did a lot on my other app. Let's see. How did I handle speech? My archived, public archived, theme sushi, prayer time. So isn't this what I archived? It is an archived. Okay. So if I look at source, and look at this guy. Where did I? This is getting the prayer. I am not doing that. I am, maybe it's AWS. I think AWS just handled the client and the secrets. Yeah, that's not it. It's gotta be here somewhere. This handled all the requests going to Aladdin, which we split out in the library now, which is great. Oh, how does this work? So it says here, lookup input. Where do we send this data? A new prayer. Good. Okay. there was a place, I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, where I got the actual speech for the client. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh. Hey Agonk, how are you? I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, and welcome back. I'm just going over what I did previously for this one of my my Prayer Times client. What I built recently on my last. Oh, I'm not even sure if I have subscription up. I'd have to set that up. But I will set it up by Monday, which is my next stream. So I'll remind you if you want me to. Otherwise, I'm not gonna beg for it. But I don't know how I'm new to Twitch. I don't know if Twitch subscription is like a payment thing. I'm doing this for free. I don't like. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll definitely get it set up by Monday. Alright, so what I was doing is I was looking up how I was handling speech. Yeah, yeah, it's crap code here. Look at this. At least I got comments everywhere when I did this last. So I was handling speech here. What a terrible way to do this, but I don't think there's a better way. And I was parsing the speech data and putting in these structs. Okay, makes sense. So I need a similar way to handle the speech. Most of it comes from the Lambda handler. Let's see. Is there a main function? Yeah, I don't think there's a main function. Oh, there's no main function here, so it was one of these when I did this last. This is the out speech. Current next day, respond customer day prayers. Yeah, okay. All started here. Okay, so the request type, we get the country postal code from the Alexa API response, which we build here, which we get from the context. I remember this now. And then we get the device location based on the city and country code. And then this could have all been its own function, and then we just return the data that we needed. And then we get the time zone data. And I don't recall why we needed the time zone data. But we get the time zone data, and then after we get the time zone and location, we convert the time zone response to human readable, which is like, you know, EST, PDT, whatever that is exactly. And we construct the time zone in this fashion. Customer time is T, we build the time zone gathering from what we get up here. So location is time load location, customer time zone. So we get the time zone in whatever format Alexa gives in its JSON format. And then we have to build it in this so that we can use time.t in the current time zone. So this is the current. So if the customer wants, right, we needed to get the current time for the customer when they're calling the skill, and then when they're calling the skills, we get the current time, and then we pass that into whatever API to get the current time, or to the library and get the current prayer time that is currently in status. So like if it's, for example, Zohar time or Asr time, then you can go ahead and just get the current the customer's time zone current time, and then just say Asr is there's 50 minutes left in Asr, and or sorry, the current prayer is Asr, and Maghrib starts in 50 minutes at such and such time. That was why we needed the time zone data, so we can get the current time for the customer, because Alexa does not provide the current time, but it does provide the zip code and the time zone. Okay, now I understand. So this could have been its own function, and then we get that, we get the time zone data, we get the current time, and then we get all the prayers for like the current day and the next day. The reason why we get the current day and the next day is so we get the current prayer and the next prayer is because we want to be able to say the current time is such and such, and the next prayer is Asr or Maghrib, right? And then we get the day prayer, which is like the Fajr's at 5 a.m., Zohar's at 12 p.m., and so on and so on. But this was a little bit of a problem, because this needed to handle if the next prayer was, for example, tomorrow, like it's Isha now, and the next prayer is tomorrow, Fajr time, then it's not the current day. You have to look up the next day, which is what this guy did. And ideally, that should also be handled by the library. So when we do so the library should return the current day prayers, the month prayers, and the current and next prayer times, whether it be tomorrow or not tomorrow. And then you not only need to handle the next day, but it could be like the last day of the month. So you need to handle the next month's first day prayer as well. So that's something that we have to build back into the library. Okay, so we got a little bit more work to do there. And then all of that should be fed into the library, and then these clients should just say, get current and next prayer, get the current day prayers, and then so on and so on, right? And no matter where we use it, we can just provide that information and go from there. All right, so let's go ahead, and we've at least got the default base skill with this boilerplate code. Now that I remember exactly how it all works, yeah. So the other thing is we need to API access token. Those are for the Alexa Lambdas. Okay. I might take some of this context code. Add in the session code. Actually, I might take all of these. And the request body details. Okay. Right, so let's go ahead and start here. I don't want to take this whole thing, but I do want to take some of them. And then I want to go split them up on their own files. So let's at least take structs from this guy. And then we will also take the create response function. Then we'll build our own Lambda handler. What happened there? Cool. Yes, context is not used. None of it is used because I don't have any functions yet, but they will be used, I promise. Okay, so Alexa skill client Lambda function. Let me just make sure it actually saves. This is a little weird. Well, what was that? Okay, no, leave it alone. Cool. Alright. Oh, it removed all my imports. That's fantastic. Okay. Well, either way, main, I need the actual Lambda handler, which is just this guy. And I'll build the Alexa response. Yes, I know. No arguments. Oh, this is not main. This is Lambda handler. I'm sorry. All right. Yes, that's right. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is figure out the request type. So I want to be able to say if it's going to be the current prayer and the next prayer. But I don't remember where this is. So R is request. What is request? Request is version, body, context. Okay, this guy. So it's gonna have the request type, and then it's gonna say I need to get the device stuff, which is all passed in. From R. So I need a function that gets the device location. Where do I don't actually need to know the request type, but that's okay. Yeah, let's do that. This should be called device request. That's fine. It's okay. So I need to get the request, get device info, so I can build. What was this? This was. Where did I use these? Oh, right. I had to build this because I have to make a request to the Alexa device API. Where was this? So I used it there, but it was actually here. So I used this to get the country and postal. Oh man, this was okay. Okay. Device location request. That's all comes from API endpoint. All comes from this. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and get these guys. Yes, I know it's not being used. I really need to get rid of this plugin that I have. Alright, so this, okay, so these get, okay. I need to get, so device location request was an HTTP new request to the API endpoint, which is getting from there, the device ID, which is getting it from there, and it's going to be nil. I don't remember what the nil is for. Sure, let's go ahead and build that. So, actually, let's just steal this. I already did the work anyways, who cares? Just organizing the work a little better. Oh, I know it's not being used. I'm gonna use log.errorf. Unable to determine API endpoint and device ID. Oops, endpoint and device ID from device. But if they feed me coordinates, I don't necessarily need it. So I gotta be careful with that. Well, I don't know if they're gonna feed me coordinates because an Alexa device, you can't really tell it to feed the coordinates whatsoever. So I guess that's not gonna be an issue. I'm always gonna use a here API key or some geolocation API key to gather those coordinates, at least if it comes from a smart home device like an Alexa or Google Home. Okay, then I still want to do that, and it's gonna be a fatal. Yes, I know. Okay, so tokens not used, none of these are used. That's perfect, that's not a problem. Alright, so the next thing I did was request the time zone from the device. So I got the country code and postal code, which is great. I passed it into the library. I can get the data that I need for the whole month. but I need to get the time zone. So this was needed for gathering the current in the next prior, which I need to build back into the API that I mentioned. And this is bringing back a lot of memories. Okay. Oh, look at that. I'm using log fatal f here and not using it. I wasn't using it before. Response.say, plain text, unable to get time zone. Please allow the but response is not. Where is this being declared? It's not being declared here. Oh, it's being declared outside of it. Okay, fair enough. So we do this create response, and we have response.say. Okay, so I want to be able to I should be able to call that. So here I create the response, but where do I actually use it? Oops, I have a napkin in my pocket. Outspeech, where was outspeech? Outspeech is speak. Sure, response. Was this it? Did I just return this entirely? Response, outspeech, type, SSM. Okay. Oh, this went back to, I see. This went back to the handler. I get it now. So as long as, if I can, from the handler, if I can call that stuff, as long as I can respond in this fashion, which is what this guy is, right? Then I can use it as much as I want. So then I can actually build these guys at least in another file entirely. Yeah, I'll do that. Let me go ahead and do that now, actually, because I'm about to use it. So, oh yes. All right, so not here. It was this guy. response construct for Alexa device. Alright, so that's got that. And then so here, when I say response.say, response is actually coming from, where is declared? Oh, right, it's declared here. So I need to be able to have this exported somehow. So can I do that? Is that a thing in Golang where if you have just like a global variable in a package and you just say response like that? No. Device response. Warning, exported. Oh, it is exported. Cool. But I actually... Oh, hi. Thank you for following Haunter991. So I'm actually not going to have that. I need this. Create the response for the Alexa device, and then this goes ahead and returns the response struct, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Cool. So then here, where I would normally do response say, I could just instantiate response here in the actual thing. So resp is equal to create response. Alright, so then these would still work, and then this is still coming from this guy. That's awesome. Alright. I'm so excited you guys are actually joining this. I'm getting a little bit of traction on followers and whatnot. I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy camper. If I could get these editor errors out of the way, these a little more manageable, I'd be a happier camper. But you know, it is what it is. Can't have my cake and eat it too is the term, right? So this is my old one. All right, so that's good. That's good. I'm getting the get device info. I've got the device location. I've got the device time zone. That is awesome. Okay. Response say can't do this, and then response new request. I should always be able to get the country and postal code. No, maybe I should have that up here too. Yes, I know it's not being used. So plain text, unable to get. I want to say unable to determine. This is country and postal code for Alexa device. Please allow determine country and postal code for your device. All right, so that will give me that, and then once we use it to look up it is used, not we use. There's no we here. It is used to determine an approximate nearest city location for your prayer times. Perfect. All right, let me go ahead and get rid of this. So get gathers device location data, determine prayer time info. All right, cool. So we get the time zone, we get the location, and that's all we need from here, I think. I don't think we use it anywhere else. I didn't use it anywhere else previously. Set headers to include token and request. Oh, I do use it. So I still have to do this portion. So this is what actually gathers the time zone. Okay, so I need all of this, which is what I wrote previously. Up to here. Converts the time zone to human readable format. And then construction device time zone that. I think I just want it up to here to load the time zone. At least for now. And if that's not the case, then I'll add it in later. I have to add in yes, country and postal code was not determined because country and postal was actually, where was that? It was here. Country and postal was actually this guy. Oh, it was a type. That's what it was. It was the type. But the type only returned that. Okay, well, fair. Fair. Let me go ahead and get this guy too. I know it looks like I'm just like copying my old project and just reworking it, but I promise it's not the case. Let's read it clear. What I'm doing is I'm splitting up the library part, which is gathering from Aladdin and using the here API key, where my previous project had it all in one, and my intent is to basically split it up so that I can use that data in other areas, right? It doesn't have to be an Alexa skill. And Go, like within Go, like I didn't have to make it an Alexa skill. Like even with the last project, I could just take bits and pieces out of that particular source code in my GitHub library, but I didn't really want to do that. Like I want to make it more modularized a little bit. So eventually we'll get to that part. So I would just want the Alexa part to just say, go ahead and gather the monthly prayer data from there, and then the Alexa skill will handle the actual request part and only the request part, and then I can have other clients handle the request part. So if I have like a Google Home skill, for example, that can go ahead and just use the same library and then handle the request part how it's supposed to handle it, and so on. Or a Chrome extension or Firefox extension, browser extension, and like putting it into a website, however it wants, however it has to deal with it, it does it all. So that's why I split the library out outside of my old project, and that was the whole motivation for my new one. All right, so country and postal is actually postal is equal to you Alexa API response, and that's what that is. Okay, so we've got we've got device time zone data, correct device time zone data, and we've got device location data. So I could probably use this. Let's see, what type is this? It's an HTTP response. And this is also type HTTP response. Yes, this is also type HTTP response. This one has, where do I use the device? Where did I use these? Down here. So originally, when I would read them all. So convert the time zones. I would convert the time zones in TZ data and so on. And I'd convert the time zone, okay? And then I'd load the location from the time zone. I think I should still do that in this package. No, I'll make another one. This can be its own thing. And then unable to convert zip. Oh, right. This is just converting the zip that I get from the actual device location. And then I load T, which is time.now. And then I put it in location, which is gathered here, which is loading the location. Where did I use zip int? I sent zip into this guy, the lookup info. Understood. Okay. So this portion can be its own function. Now that we got this data. And then we would load the location. Well, the thing is that, like, I don't really need it to be its own function because only this, like, this is only going to be used by when immediately after gathering the device location. So maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just return an equivalent of this type. And if I return an equivalent of this type, then I can just say, okay, no. Yes, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. But I'm not gonna include the method. This is still, these three are still gathering the customer's device info, which is the country they're in, the zip code they're in, which obviously is a country, but there are some cases where there are special cases where you have two zip codes in two different countries. Yeah, I don't know. I found that out when I first worked on this last. Which is weird. I don't exactly remember which countries have the same zip codes, but it was definitely weird. So that's why I requested country code and zip code, and then the customer time. And if I can get those three, that's the customer's device info. That's all I need. And then the method can also be determined by Lambda handler itself. So whatever method they want, whether it's previously, as you can see here, I defaulted to method number 1, which is what I use for the test, but there are actually 10 or 11 or 12 different methods, and each of these methods is actually an institution that determines the time data. So for example, there's an institution that uses like specific angles, specific types of angles, and specific definitions from the Quran to determine, say, Asr. And it's the same thing. And then there are other institutions that do it differently. Not everybody. If you're a Muslim and you ever look through the prayer times between different institutions, they're not the same. And so what I did was I went to time and date, and I looked up and date. Was it astronomical twilight? Yeah, astronomical twilight. So I looked up time and date astronomical twilight, and then I would find the closest institution. I found the closest institution, which is the one in Karachi, which is what method 1 is, that follows closest to the astronomical twilight. And the reason why I particularly use this one, the astronomical twilight, is because in the Quran there's a verse, and I'm translating here, so it might not be word for word for how you understand, but there's a verse that says when you should start fasting, like, is when the dark thread the white thread of light is distinguishable from the dark thread of night, meaning like to me is like you can see a little bit of white, you know, in the darkness, right? So that is that to me is dawn. And if you look at, for example, civil or nautical twilight, they're still considered dawn, but it's not, you know, it's not an immediate dawn. Like the first layer of dawn is actually, to me, is like when darkness sort of becomes, the dark of night sort of becomes inky blue. That is astronomical twilight. And then there's nautical twilight, you know, when the sky turns red, but you still see the darkness in the sky. And then there's civil twilight, which is when the sun is about to rise up. There's 3 phases of twilight, and you have it for dawn and you have it for dusk. So meaning Fajr and Maghrib time, and yeah. So I use this to verify how you can calculate the prayer times, like you know, astronomical twilight. Whenever that happens, they actually give a time. So I'm, for example, in Washington D.C. Astronomical twilight is doesn't say, it just gives me the civil and so on. But there is a time. This time and date actually has an API, which is not free, but it has an API which can give you the time for astronomical twilight, the civil twilight, and the nautical twilight for a given day, which would have been nice to determine, like if I could just use that to determine Fajr and Maghrib time, and then all I'd have to do is find out how to calculate high noon, which time and date also gives. And then Asr is the special one, because there's really no way to calculate Asr. It's like like after the sun starts to move, and then before Maghrib time, the middle point of those two is Asr. So there's no like given time, like, oh hey, the sun is at its highest and it stays there for a little bit, and then when it starts to move, you know, that's when Asr is. But it's not. It's actually the middle point of the two, and it's very hard to calculate, to be honest. Like a lot of people have taken like the angle of the sun and where it hits, and I don't fully understand the math, so I'm not going to try and explain it. But that's Asr, and it's the hardest to calculate. And then there's obviously nighttime, which is after civil twilight at dusk. So yeah, so I use this, and then I found the closest institution which followed time and dates, timing between Fajr and Maghrib, and then that's the one I went with. So, but I don't want to keep enforcing. I want the customer to provide what I want this to be default, but I want the customer to provide what method they want if they want to. So, given that, let's go back. I want all of this. So I use IUtil to read everything in byte size, and then I convert the bytes to string format, which then I can do a regex compile of that. And then I take the regex data, which I believe I do here, and I replace the string, which just has, I think it's just got like a little space or something at the end. I'm not exactly sure. And then I take that data and I load the location. So that should be like an actual time and so on. And I'll load the location. This takes load location in it can be like in any given format. To be honest, it's actually really good. I like this load location and like how you can. So I can take like America. Oh, that's what it was. So when I gather the customer data, when I gather the customer time zone data, it takes it in this format. So like America, New York, and so on and so on. And I just replace any spaces afterwards. So I trim any data afterwards, prior to it, up here. After I get the time zone data, that's essentially it. I get the time zone data, and then I load the time zone data in here, and I get the current time for that time zone. So if the device is in, US West 2, Oregon, Amazon region location, and the customer just happens to be all the way in, say, my home country or my origin country, my parents' origin country, Bangladesh, then it'll still go to that location, find the current time, and get the current day prior times. And that's exactly what I want. So, do I have just a zip? Why did I say zip int? Got it. Okay, so now I need to come up with device info or device data. Yes, device data struct. Type device data. And that's going to contain the time info as well as the zip code and the country code. And that's all I need. Excuse me. So let's start with country code. And that's going to be as type string. Time, that's going to be a time. What is this real quick? It's going to be of type to use the TypeScript. Yes, okay, so what is this type? Time.time, okay. Yeah, so I was thinking time, like so, okay. Device data should have, okay, yeah. Device data is the response after gathering the response containing device geolocation and time, date time. I don't know if date time's an actual word, I'm not gonna risk it. All right, so down here, yeah, declared not used, I get it. So, and then zip code was the last thing I needed, right? So zip code, it can be a type int, postal code. On the library, I don't remember if I use... Let me go back, exit this. Do I use postal code of type string? I do. I do use it as type string, so then I should probably keep it the same here. Postal code of type string. Then here, I don't want it to be an int. I actually want it to be a string. Unable to... country.postal code. Where's this? Does this also have country code? It's country postal. What the heck? Country. No, rename this. Cool. So country data has postal code and country code. And that's all I need. So then what else does country data have? Dot postal code and country code. Okay. So then I just need country code, postal code, and time data. So I need to return. I don't think I'll even need. I don't need this. And here, so return. I will need to return and type error at some point. Okay. So it's going to be like device data and error. So return. Does that work? Yes, I get that. I swear these errors are just like, getting in my way. Okay, so it's expecting all right, because you don't need this in Golang. Okay, I guess you can't do that. So country code is equal to let me just redo this whole statement. Return I'm looking for device data. That's what I'm looking for. Return device data. Nah, I didn't think about everything. Okay, I guess I gotta explicitly set the keys. So country code is country data dot country code. Postal code is country data dot postal code. And then time is T. And look at that, and then, wow, we didn't do that? Okay, we should have done that. For all of these, I should have a response.say as well, actually. So log fatal f. Unable to convert. Device time zone data to us.say. What was it? Was plain text. Plain text. Just type in whatever it is. Yeah. There was an error converting device time zone data. I know that's very, very technical, but it is what it is. I'm gonna use it. Converting. There was an error normalizing time zone data. Okay, and then here, resp.say. There was an error. Text. There was an error. Loading device time zone location. Does this eventually go back to the? It doesn't yet. If it doesn't go back. Hello, Eve Neo, or is it Evan EO? It's Eve Neo. I can at least get that one right. Okay, so I get that. But I needed to go back to the Lambda function somehow. So the Lambda function would need to call this, and it would need to return. It would need to return back to the Lambda handler. Because this, while this is fine, so the Lambda handler would call this would call resp.say, and then so I can't actually have log fatal. Log fatals anywhere must be handled by the Lambda function entirely. So then I need to return errors so the Lambda function can go ahead and do the fatals. Or sorry, the Lambda handler. Okay. So all my log fatals need to change. Unable to determine everything. So instead of log fatals, let's say error. Log error or something. Not fatal, not. Is that output? Okay, so I guess it's not. Nope. I really don't want to use FMT. Well, it doesn't matter actually. FMT error F is fine. Okay. This way I can return nil and error. And then I would need this statement a lot of places. So this would also have to be error F. Yeah, in fact, I can replace all log.fatals to fmt.errf. And in each of these places, result of fmt.errf was not used. Wait, really? This has a result? What does as a result? It results in error. Oh, so then I can just go ahead and just say, instead of error, yeah, that would work. Okay. Well, oh man, I gotta do this in a lot of places. Well, at least return nil. Oh wait, that's too many. Well, this doesn't actually have a return statement, so I can I don't know how this works. This isn't actually okay. Let's come back to that one. Oh, wait. This is looking for... This would be looking for an Alexa API response, which is what this is. So I would be returning both of these, not just... Yeah, I would be returning both of these, not just nil. Okay, so I'd be returning... Nope, I still need that. I just need it up to... So, type check response plain text. Response say. It's not an actual thing. that's right. It's not an actual thing. So it would need to be. So the response would say it would need to happen first, and then it would have to return create response. But create response isn't actually. How the heck did I do this? Create response. Oh, it does return that. Okay. Let me undo that. Okay, so that. All right. So create response, and then it returns a type response. And then you have response.say these things. And it builds out. It builds that out with all the responses. It builds out everything in. Oh, this would totally move to that. Yes, I know there's two of these. Cool. All right, so this builds that out. So I just need to return response entirely then. So I do response say, and then resp instead of nil. Okay, so that's type check. Crap. I'll have to read. I can't just use. What is this type? This is Alexa response. Right, so then here where I have these, I have nil, I have resp, and then I have that. And that is exactly what I'm looking for. I don't know why it's not erroring on the other ones, because I don't have enough types to respond with. That's weird. Yeah, see, now it does it. That one's fine. I'm gonna get my Golang development things fixed. There's something happening here that is not right. Okay, so here I'll say return nil and resp, and then do that. And awesome. So time zone data is okay. No, it's not okay. So I want to do the same thing here. So resp.say plain text. Technically speaking, if the time zone data did not work correctly, I would never run into this. I don't really need this check, but I'm going to do it anyways. Alright. Time zone data. Data status is not 200. Oops. Return no. Rasp. having 3 return types is kind of weird. I probably should have just made a better struct. That's okay though. Come back to it. So return nil, resp there. I have to do it everywhere. So again, no log fatals. So there was an error, so FMT error F. Unable to I can get rid of this error. I'm pretty sure Golang already provides this. Alright, so then here, do the same thing. How are we on time? Ooh, it's almost 9. Man. Yes, not enough return values. So return nil and nil. Because we only want the responses here if there are errors. Okay, perfect. Alright, right around 8:55, which is 6 minutes from now, I gotta go make breakfast for the wife. She does a lot throughout the day, and at least it's the least I can do. Alright, so that's done. Those are my return statements all done. It's gonna go ahead and return the country code, the time, and the postal code, and that's exactly what I needed. So that will go ahead and give me these things based on the device location. So now for testing purposes, I need to be able to mimic what these are supposed to be if I were to do the unit test, right? So in context data, just request context data, I should say, I need to be able to get that. So, oh wait, I'm not using this here, am I? I'm not gonna be using this here. All right, look at that. Oh. What happened in chat? It says 5 messages were deleted by stream elements timed out. What's going on? Why were there a link? Maybe it has some weird filtering? Sorry about that, Agong. Okay, so note to self, fix chat filtering and make it a little less restrictive. And fix subscriptions, because I need to get that done. But again, I'm doing this totally for free. I don't really want any money out of it. I'm just glad I can share some of this with you guys. so we've got that stuff all done. This is gonna go ahead and return device data, which is perfect. Exactly what we needed. Now I can come back here and take the device data and I don't know what I'll need for the rest of this, but let's say get device data, which is going to be calling this function with just request. I don't know if I need to make it. I don't think I need to. So get device info with R. That should do it. And it's gonna be I need. Yeah, I don't. Oh, was that it? Do I have link filtering? I don't think I have link filtering. I don't even know where to check that. Let's see. So, string tools. Where are my extensions? My extensions. I've done a few testing in Go. So if I go back to this, like for example, like these tests I've done where I've populated some data and then I've checked to see if there are specific things failing, and I've done this, but this is sort of basic. I feel like I need to get a little more in depth into it, but this did provide enough context to at least help with my code to make sure that it does cover most of the bases. But I need to get more into like code coverage. I know it's not necessarily the best to always have like 100% code coverage, but like, you know, a good amount should be fine. But I feel like my tests are very, very basic, and I'm gonna Google that right now actually. And so what I want to do is for this guy, I want to be able to test this, but I don't know. See, like the request, which is this data, I don't know what this data looks like other than just that, right? So like if the body is supposed to have, I actually need to get this from Amazon, what the request data looks like, and then make my test based on that, right? I need to be able to get an API code. You can make request and mock that data returned. Right, but like if I don't know what the request data should look like, how do I mock it? Yeah. So that's exactly what I want to do. I do want to use mocking data, but I need to figure out what the, like, other than this, I need to figure out what else is in these JSON keys to figure out the actual body structure and pass that in there and make sure that I'm still getting the correct output based on that input, right? So what I'm thinking is basically filling out this type with that mocked data, similarly how I did here, where I sort of mock this data, but I think you're actually think about using a mock library. Usually make an API request to the endpoint. I need see the data and hard code the mock data in my code. Yeah, that's similar to this, right? So like where I know this isn't JSON specifically, but like, you know, this is the struct I'm testing out with to get. Yeah, that's exactly. So what I don't know is the full structure of this other than what I have here. And if I can get the full structure of this, then I can go ahead and mock that out in my test code and make sure, like, there are some cases where, for example, down here, so this is request, right? Request is a variable R. Like down here, like I need to make sure that I can get, you know, system API token, system access token, and so on, and device IDs. If I can't get this data, like what happens, right? Like maybe the client's Alexa skill doesn't have that enabled. Why do you name your body keys? Why do you name your body key as request in JSON? Oh, are you saying here in the request struct? This is probably just this is probably just bad how do I say it? Bad formatting. Is this not correct? Like, should I be doing it a different way? Yeah, no, I got you. I am too. I don't know if there's a better way. Oh, you're talking about this guy specifically. I think when I originally did this in the structure from Alexa. Yeah, that's I get that. But like in the structure from Alexa, you get them here and then you get the request. But the request is actually the bot. Yeah, you know what? Let's just I'll at least call it request body like I've done of this type here, which I think I need to. Where is this? Yeah, I'll name it request body. Instead of just straight up body. Correct body. Yeah, that should at least give some context, because like it's actually a request in whenever you're gathering it from Alexa, but it's weird. Like I don't really like that name because it's not really like, it's actually just the body itself. Like the entire thing is a request, not just that one portion. So no. I'm changing it because you're right. It shouldn't be just body. It's actually just the request body. But oh well. I'll change it back later if I need to. But let me look up what you searched about learn go with tests. I've never actually searched this before. Let's see what happens. Are you talking about this? Go with okay. Test-driven development with Go. I've always had bad luck with test-driven development. I feel like you should develop first, then test it, and cover all areas of it, rather than make the tests first and then develop. But I've got that. So I'm just gonna briefly go over this and like how, as long as like, yeah, I'm just gonna briefly go over this real quick and not make too much on it. Ooh, my watch is blowing up with GitHub notifications from work. So approach the blue book. Read the blue book. I have this book. All right, you have fun. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. I gotta go too. Have a nice weekend, man. And I've got to get out, so I'm gonna raid somebody. I appreciate all of you joining. So you guys all have a nice day. Let's raid Chris Nova. I think Chris Nova's always. Yeah, let's raid Chris Nova. Have to go through here. Oh, Chris Nova's not online. Acorn is online. It says toggle bit. Let's go with Acorn. I'll go with Acorn. She's doing some crazy game development stuff. All right. I will see you guys Monday. What's going on? Why can't I start raid? I am already raiding. Okay, so I guess I'm good. All right, I'll see you guys See you guys Monday.